Opponent, what's good? Hello? Did I break? Are you okay? Black Jesus, are you gonna wait 3 days? I can't wait 3 days. The people demand. People demand more content, Black Jesus. Cannot wait that long. My fair citizens of Sodium City, we have Heisenberg combo. So this deck is going to revolve around 2 cards, but it's going to be more of a combo deck. We have Mordenkainen and Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. So Mordenkainen is one of the newer planeswalkers, and then of course we have the 4-mana Jace that allows you to overdraw your deck and cause you to win the game. Now with these cards, we actually have quite a few different ways to win the game. So Mordenkainen is a 6-mana planeswalker. You draw 2 cards, then put any card from your hand at the bottom of your library. This is just a ridiculous card. I actually really like this planeswalker. I think it's super overpowered. Maybe not overpowered, I think it's properly powered, but it becomes overpowered if left undealt with. Which the fact that it comes in with 5 loyalty and it has a +2, so it technically has a 7-pack. It's pretty ridiculous. It makes it very difficult to kill him when he comes into the battlefield. But yeah, I mean, just being able to filter your hand that much, drawing 2 cards and then putting 1 at the bottom is ridiculous. It's like a brainstorm on crack, right? And then you have the -2 ability, which is create a blue dog illusion creature token with this creature's power and toughness are equal to twice the number of cards in your hand. And this, coupled obviously with his +2 ability, makes it pretty fucking strong. So it's very good. You can win with this dog straight up just by swinging them in the face for, you know, if you have 7 cards in your hand, it's going to be a 14/14. But we have ways to make it even bigger than that. Mordenkainen's ultimate is a -10, which is surprisingly easy to get to with this deck. You exchange your hand and library, then shuffle. You get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size. So obviously this is really good coupled with the dog, because if you have no maximum hand size and you're swapping your hand with your library is probably like 20 cards or something like that. Your dog is going to become a 40/40. Something ridiculous, right? You should be able to kill them at that point pretty easily unless they have chump blockers, right? And if they have a lot of small creatures, they could just block, or if they have removal, something like that. So we have a lot of ways to protect it and kind of get around it. So we have Teferi's Protection, which is just a 3-mana instant. Until your next turn, your life total can't change, and you gain protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. This is just a ridiculous card, but it's essentially there just to protect your dog and protect your Mordenkainen and stuff like that. Now, however, if we need to actually punch through an attack with our dog, we have a card called You Come to a River. This is actually a very, very good card when coupled with Mordenkainen. In general, I don't think it's that great, but with Mordenkainen, it's a very good card. So this is a 2-mana instant with return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So returning a non-land permanent to its owner's hand is usually just pretty good, but it's any non-land permanent. So this can be your own permanent, this can be their permanent. You can save something that they're trying to kill, whatever it may be, right? But it also has target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn and can't be blocked. This is the big mamma jamma, I guess is what the cool kids call it. But when you have a dog that's like a 20/20 or something like that, and you're trying to punch through, they have a bunch of blockers, using Come to a River is ridiculous. You just get an unblockable, massive creature. Now, we also have a wish board that uses Fling. Fling's a 2-mana instant that forces you to sacrifice a creature in addition to casting the spell. It deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to any target. So once again, we are going to be taking that dog, hopefully swinging in for damage if they have extra health, like if we're going up against an Angels deck or something. They're probably going to have around 30, 35, 40 health. So we're going to try to punch through with the dog, and then what we're going to do is we're going to try to fling the dog in their face, which should technically finish it off. Now, our other main win condition is going to be Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. This is just 4 mana Planeswalker, and it has the passive of, if you were to draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. So typically, if you were to overdraw your deck, you would lose the game. This makes it so you win the game. This is just really cool in general. I like alternate win conditions. It's just kind of a fun thing for me to do. But this is a 4 mana, 4 loyalty Planeswalker, has a +1 ability, so it does technically come in with a 5-pack. But the +1 is target player puts top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard, then you draw a card. A lot of times I still target the opponent with this. It just kind of depends on what deck they're running. Even though I'm trying to mill myself a lot, there are still times that I'm trying to find a specific card, and I don't always want to mill myself in risks that I'm going to mill the card that I need. So a lot of times I still mill the opponent. But also has the -8 ability of where you draw 7 cards. Then if your library has no cards in it, you win the game, which obviously is kind of like the passive. But if you have exactly 7 cards in your library and you use the -8, you draw 7, and then you can also win the game that way. We have so many ways to draw a ridiculous amount of cards in this deck. We're using things like Magic Mirror and Whirlwind of Thought. So the Magic Mirror is a 9 mana legendary artifact, very expensive, but it has, this spell costs 1 less for each instant sorcery in your graveyard, which is great. But it says you have no maximum hand size. This is amazing when you have Whirlwind of Thought out. But the main part of Magic Mirror is at the beginning of your upkeep, you put a knowledge counter on it, and then draw a card equal to the number of knowledge counters on the Magic Mirror. So when you put it down, it does nothing, which kind of sucks. But the next turn, on your upkeep, you put a knowledge counter on it and you draw a card, and then you draw your regular card for the turn. So you're drawing 2 cards in your upkeep. The next turn, you're going to draw 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6. It just spirals out from there. But the reason I say that with Whirlwind of Thought is that that is a 4 mana enchantment to where whenever you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. Since we don't have any creatures, this means every single time we cast a spell, we're just drawing another spell. So there's at no point in time that we are not replacing the card that we are casting, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Especially if we have more than one Whirlwind of Thought, we're going to cast something and then draw 2 cards. And of course, this is ridiculous with Magic Mirror because then our hand has no limit. And then if we're using Mordenkainen at that time, we can make a dog, which makes the dog even bigger every single time we draw a card. And again, it just kind of all synergizes together. Now, 2 more of the newer cards that we're utilizing here that are really all-stars when it comes to the deck is going to be Monk Class and Wish. So Monk Class is one of the new cards that I really, really like. I think it's very good. So it's just a 2 mana enchantment that says the second spell you cast each turn costs 1 colorless less to cast. Now this also stacks on itself. So if you have 4 Monk Classes out, if you cast an Opt, right? An Opt costs 1 blue mana. Then the next spell you cast that turn costs 4 colorless less. Just flat out 4 colorless less. So your Mordenkainen is then 2 blue mana instead of 4 colorless and 2 blue, which is absolutely ridiculous. We don't have Opt in the deck, but we have cards like Strategic Planning and stuff like that. But we have so many other ways to just make our spells really, really cheap. And that really comes down to the Wish cards. So the combination of Monk Class and Wish, I think, is very underrated. I'd be surprised if people don't start running this more in best of 1. So Wish is just, you may play a card you own from outside the game this turn. It's 3 mana, does nothing outside of you being able to cast a card from outside the game. And again, Again, Monk Class makes it to where the second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less. And this is any spell. This isn't just Planeswalkers, not just instants, sorceries, creatures, anything. Any spell, right? So Wish, you cast that first, it's 3 mana. Then you look at your sideboard, your wish board, whatever you want to call it, and every single thing in there costs 1 colorless less. Unless you have multiple monk classes out, then of course it's even cheaper than that. So it makes having a sideboard and a wish board even more beneficial, and that's why I'm running it over Fae of Wishes. Even though Fae of Wishes will actually get the card from your wish board into your hand, this is just... it seems to have a little bit more synergy with the rest of the deck, and I just really like it in general. Now, the second level to Monk class is pretty nice. It's just 2 mana. When it becomes level 2, return up to 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. This is just ridiculous once again because bouncing things is really annoying if you're targeting opponent stuff. You can't necessarily protect stuff you own with this. Mainly because you can only cast it as a sorcery. So even if they do an instant speed trying to kill one of your planeswalkers, you can't, in response, activate the second level. It doesn't really work that way. So only if you want to like reset triggers or counters or something like that would it even be useful to really target yourself. So I've used the level 2 stuff to reset counters on Planeswalker like Mordenkainen. I want to, going forward, use it to reset something like a Saga or a Haphazard Bombardment, something like that. Something with a little bit more oomph to it, something that makes it really, really mean to use. And then again, we can take advantage of that second spell costing 1 less to cast. I think there's just so many different things with this card that makes it so beneficial. And then, of course, the level 3, which is at the beginning of your upkeep, exile top card of your library. For as long as it remains exiled, it has, you may cast this card from exile as long as you've cast another spell this turn. And this just has synergy with itself because obviously the first ability is the second spell you cast costs 1 less. So you cast whatever, a Wrath of God, and then all of a sudden you have access to all these cards that Monk class has exiled. It's just a really good card. I think it's very underrated right now, but I can guarantee you that it will see play in the future. Now, I will say that this deck is the truth. It's an amazing deck. I had a blast with it, with the various different win conditions, the amount of math that can go into it if you're going to win with the 4-mana Jace and just drawing cards. I mean, math I use loosely. It's a lot of just addition is really all it is. But there's a lot of it, right? It's magic math, right? So I do enjoy it a lot. It's a super, super fun deck. But if you want to do the current deck list, take it home, play around with it. It is going to run you 60 rares and 12 mythics. This is including the wish board. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's very expensive, but again, I do recommend it. It's a blast. It's super, super fun. It's possible that you could take out the magic mirrors for something else like Midnight Cock, but that may be the only changes. Maybe throw in another Whirlwind of Thought. However, it's a relatively tight list. You could probably change out some cards on the sideboard depending on what meta you're running into, but that's essentially what you're going to have to do. It's a very expensive deck. So if you want the list, you can click on the card over there at the top right hand corner. It should take you over to the Aether Hub page that has it. If you want the text-based version, it'll be in the description below, as well as just another link to the Aether Hub site as well. And as for yesterday's comment question of the day, I asked you, do you run Settle the Wreckage in your aggro decks? And if you do, tell me some of your stories. Here are some of them. And if you want your comment featured in these videos, make sure that you answer the comment question of the day every single day, 7 days a week in the comment section below. Stay salty and enjoy the games. All right. So this was a deck that I made. I don't remember how many games I actually played of it beforehand. I don't remember if it was any good. But it was funny. It was fun. Right, and that's all we really... Right? I don't even remember why we have Prismari's Command. I gotta remember. We'll figure it out as we play it, right? Is there another email address? This is like the third person I've seen with an email address. I think it's, well, I've seen one other person with the same email address. We've done that twice. I've seen them on stream, but it's definitely not this person. Let's just do this. And we'll keep up Prismari Command to like blow something up or something. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this yet. Okay. No. 2 damage, create a treasure. Huzzah! Oh yeah, I'm drawing a bunch of cards. Sweet. Beautiful. Whirlwind of Thought is a great card. I'm a big fan. I love this card. Love, love, love this card. Another one? Cheater! Cheater, I tell you. So there's a couple things I can do here. I can blow that up. Yeah, do that. Basically just putting them back turns. This is all we're doing. We killed the first one before they could attack. They played the second one. We might be annoying them just a little bit. Sorry, I gotta put that person, I gotta put this person's name. It's a different person, I swear. Ooh, okay. We get 2. We get a little 2 for here. Now, okay. Draw an extra card. And I like how our Jace is now super free. That's free, yeah. There was gonna, ooh, an Embercleave and a Muxus. That was, doesn't get any better than that. Woo! I don't think I've seen an Embercleave in a Goblin deck before. That's new. That is new. What do I have in the sideboard? Hour of Revelation. Nothing that's really... Nothing that's gonna get me out of this right now. I have another call. So if I do this, I won't have enough mana to do anything else. 1, 2, shouldn't have chucked that in. Yeah, that was kind of a punt. So I could have just played this. See, I wish I could have just not like canceled that. I should have canceled that, but there's no option to. I wish there was. I've done that so many times where I just like play a land, like I drag it out of my hand, and I'm like, oh, fucking dick. Well, this is not good. Okay. So I can make them come in the river, right? Give them a little hand job real quick, right? That was a lot of lands that we just gave them. Hi. I feel like we're gonna get nothing but fucking bangers. Off the top of their deck now. I really, really don't want them to, like, play Star of Extinction and fuck me. They're playing some shit. Oh, fuck. Okay. No haste. But they have a prospector. They have a prospector. You can easily get a haste and kill me. Oh, and they got a fucking matron. I didn't even realize that. Well, that's goblins for you. All right. Well. Goblins doing goblin things. What are you gonna do? Black Jesus. Okay, okay, dude. I mean, come on. Oh shit. Okay. This is probably okay. I think it's fine. I think this is fine. This is probably fine. We have a lot of lands in this deck, I think. 35? It's an 80 card deck? Yeah, it should be fine. I think it's fine. I mean, we have 2 plantings. I'll probably still Monk Class anyway. I mean, Monk Class is more of a later game play. It can set you up for like a tiny bit of tempo. I might strategic planning for a land. Not sure yet. Kind of depends on what they play, though. Turn 1 Thoughtseize from Black Jesus. No, okay. So, let's go and just get this down and see what they do. See if they deal with it. If it's Sultai Ultimatum, I'm not sure what I... I wish you could activate these classes at instant speed. Because like if somebody plays down an Ugin and then does minus something, I would love to pay 2 and bounce something back to my own hand, you know? And red. Interesting. Ooh, Whirlwind of Thought. Why did I not shock that in? And then I could have just played the other strategy. See, this is what we need. I haven't played with it enough. I really like Monk Class. This is why we built this deck. It was supposed to be for Monk Class. Monk Class is a really, really sweet card. I like the card a lot. But I gotta get the land. Oh, white, black, red, green, blue. Okay, so it's 5 color. Niv Mizzet, probably. Okay. Weird to see a Birth of My Lettuce. My cabbages. It's weird to see that in a 5 color deck. Usually, I mean, maybe it is. Who knows? Let's do another white, so we have a lot of red on the battlefield. Might as well. Should we bounce their Birth of My Lettuce? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if you have World Tree. I'm gonna say no. Yeah, I'm like, I'm just gonna say no to that. I'm gonna cast this card, so it doesn't work with lands. Do this ahead of time. Damn. I was hoping I was gonna get a land out of that. Whirlwind of Thought is sweet, though. Whirlwind of Thought is sweet. I assume they play it again. It's the only thing that makes sense. I don't have any counter spells. I don't know that, but... Oh, this is not good. Not good at all, rather. they're just gonna keep playing it, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, but at this point they can just cast Ugin. It's just not good. I don't have anything. I can't do anything about it. Their dicks are bigger than mine right now. Yeah, I mean I can blow it up, but there's. You think they don't have another one? Magic Mirror. It's not really gonna help me. Do we risk it? Ooh. It's actually really nice. Aha! Oh my god. That's hilarious. That's actually kind of fucked up. I forgot we had that. Yeah, and every time we cast a spell, it's 2 cheaper. It's great. But only if there's... So if I cast Teferi's Protection, technically everything is 2 cheaper, you know? But... Oh. Oh, I see. I don't really want to lose all my shit. So... we full control this. Do this. Destroy all enchantments while that's on the stack. And do this. Blow it up. Boom. Discard a card. I have 4 Settles in my hand and a Doomskar. I think Settles are super important right here because I'm pretty sure they're gonna give all of their fuckers haste. Like 99% sure. 99.9% sure. Because of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 more land? Yeah, I mean, I just kind of want to mill them at this point. Yeah. This is pretty cool. So, I'm gonna do that. We're gonna hold up a counterspell, Kappa. I like when I'm playing Jeskai Control. It's like Jeskai Control, but more annoying. End turn. These have indestructible, so. 4 Settles. 4 Settles in the top. We have however many cards. I do have Magic Mirror. Now I kind of wish I just held up Settle instead. But this will kind of tell me what they have. Oh, shit. Why is this not a creature? It's like the only thing that's not. Aha! It's mine! You get nothing. Oh wait, they got to see it? Wait. Each opponent reveal. Oh. Oh. It's not target. So it's a force. I did not know that. I did not know that. Okay. I'm the idiot. It was I. It was I all along. Yeah, that's fine. It is third from the top. So, let's see. Can't really do any of this. I really think I need to hit my land drops. Oh, I need to discard 2 cards. Well, they know I have Settles now, right? We're gonna get whittled down. Technically. One wish, I think, wins us the game. Because I just wish Ugin. And then lull. Right? Got it. Right, they gain life from that. The synergy. I don't want to get my Mordenkainen out, though. Eventually. Who would like to do that? I forgot what the abilities are with it. I don't... Draw 2 cards, then put a card from your hand at the bottom of your library. It's ridiculous. Okay. Iliad not active. Ken Nyla a few times? 2 times? Yeah. If it's a creature card, put it in your hand, otherwise, you put it in your agreement. Oh, they want to keep it? Interesting. Interesting thing to want to keep, I must say. I must say, interesting. Still think I should have kept that Wrath. Oh, because they don't care if it gets milled. Ah, it all makes sense. They're keeping it because they don't. That and it all. There we go. There we go. There, I'm smart. I realized it. Got 2 of them. Sweet. And 3, 4. Okay. Yes. Mordenkainen. And then I just keep up 4 mana for the Settle. Then we're Gucci. So then we have Wish, and then we get Ugin. I mean, next turn I kind of... Opponent. What's wrong? Okay.
You mustn't be very wise to pick a fight with me.
This is ridiculous filtering, by the way. Drawing 2 cards. And then putting one... It's like a brainstorm on crack. I know, I hear you in comments. Except it's 6 mana, not instant speed. It doesn't put out a blah, 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 blah. I get it. I know. I understand. It's probably more like a bajillion other cards, but, you know. Simpleton me, okay? I don't know everything. It's like Jace the Mind Sculptor. There you go. Except you're drawing cards. There. Sure. Opponent, what's good? Hello? Did I break? Are you okay? Black Jesus! Are you gonna wait 3 days? I can't wait 3 days. The people demand. People demand more content, Black Jesus. Cannot wait that long. Doesn't work though. I might be able to win next turn, actually. If I do the math correctly.
Oh, no, you don't!
If I do the math correctly, all right. I hate this. I don't want to do the math. All right, so I'll have 7 cards in my hand, whatever, at the beginning. This, I draw 7 cards. So I'll draw my card for the turn. That's 8. I'll draw 7 cards. That's 15. Are they on full control? Are they full control pissed? Okay, so we have 7 cards. We will get 1 more, so 8. And we'll draw 7, 15. Technically 2 more, but then 1, so 16. So it'll be 16. We'll have 16 in our hand. And how many will be less? So 7, 8 less. 32 minus 8. 32 minus 8. 24. Okay. So if we do that, we can then wish. Fine. If we wish, that's 1 less card in our hand, taking us down to 15. We can wish for a Seagate Restoration. Brings it back up to 16. Cast that. And we draw 16 cards, which will not mill us. Okay, so we can't win next turn. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. How much does that cost? I'm going through an imaginary scenario because I think opponent's gonna time out. I think opponent's being like real sad. Black Jesus. Gonna wait 3 days. So this 7, this will be 5. It'll be 5 mana. So 1, 2, 3 from the wish, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. So I'll have 3 mana available. Oh, but then 2 more from that, and then 1 from the draw. Okay. So this is gonna be my... Wait, opponent! But Black Jesus! You didn't want to wait 3 days. Black Jesus, though. But Black Jesus. Come on.
tiny mind couldn't possibly grasp my research. Leave me be. I'm reading. Control, one must first know. I shall crush you, the knowledge of countless worlds.
Manipulation of the mind. Try this.
At the end of the day, this deck went 7-3, which was very good. However, the first game that we played, there were a lot of changes that need to be done with the mana. So I'm not going to include that game because I know that it just wasn't going to work because we needed to fix the mana. Having to take out a lot of cards to just add in a bunch of lands is clearly a sign of things needing to be changed. We weren't able to cast any of our board wipes. It was pretty bad. We didn't have enough white sources to really do anything. So once we added those back in, or once we added them in, everything was much better. It felt so much better, even if it was because it was just one game. But in that one game, it's so obvious of what's wrong with the deck, and then once we fixed it, it was just boom, instant amazing, right? That being said, the weaknesses of this deck is actually pretty low. So the add-ons are still having issues within MTGA. So what happened is that the devs of Magic Arena made it to where a lot of the logging in-game just doesn't exist. So and that's essential for the deck trackers and everything to function properly. So the fact that they disabled those logs obviously prevents a lot of the deck trackers from working properly. So you can see what the deck lists are, but it doesn't track like what cards were played, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I guess they're still trying to work on that. I don't know what's going to be done. I don't actually know if that was intentional. I don't know if that was intentional by Wizards' side of things. I highly doubt it was, but it might have been. Who knows? So, but as playing, I do realize that the biggest weakness is probably going to be either Mono Red Burn or Goblins. So as any combo deck goes, if you're not doing a lot of counter spells, you're going to typically lose to Goblins on a lot of cases just because, they drop Muxus. If they can get Muxus and a Hasty down, you're just dead. So I would say Mono Red Goblins is almost a combo deck at that point. You put down one card and you essentially win, right? So it's a lot like a combo deck. It's just an aggro-based combo deck, right? Now, for Mono Red Burn, we just don't have the life gain to stay alive through all of it. If they're running creatures and stuff like that, we can typically survive through the majority of it, but if they're just burning us down, there's unfortunately not really a whole lot for us to do in those situations. As far as everything else goes, I think we have quite a favorable matchup, though. Mordenkainen was an all-star. 4-mana Jace is amazing. Monk class is beautiful. I really like Monk class. There's just so many good things within this deck that I think make it an amazing deck. So I really, really like it. I had a blast. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you already watched the game, so you know how much I liked it, and I hope you liked it too. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to this point, it means you either really enjoyed the video or you fell asleep and I'm waking you up now. Either way, thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, come out with videos 7 days a week.